Yo, what is up guys? It's Pedro here, and in today's video I will be talking about Cameron Curl and how much he would be worth in a contract extension and if he's worth $20 million a year like his dad thinks he is. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for Washington and NFL content on the road to 11,000 subscribers. It takes 1 second, it's free. Just hit that button. I'm sure someone who's watching is not subscribed. Go ahead and do it and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. So one of the extensions that the Washington Commanders could make this offseason is one with Cameron Curl, and there have been discussions about that amongst fans, but there's been even more after, Cameron Curl's dad went on Twitter and said Cam Curl's possible contract extension looms over Commanders offseason plans. Washington Times basically just repeating the headline from the Washington Times, and he said nothing less than $80 million. Well, $80 million could be a lot of different things depending on how many years, but he kind of clarified that, saying that $80 million for 4 years, which would be $20 million a year, $105 million for 5 years, which would be, I believe, $21 million a year, and then for 6 years it would be $130 million. So that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money for Cameron Curl, and I love Cameron Curl. I mean, we saw what the defense did with and without him last year. He was a crucial part to this defense, but he's not worth, in my opinion, over $20 million. Like, let's just look at the top safeties in this league. The highest paid safety in the league right now is Derwin James at $19 million a year. I like Cameron Curl. I just don't think he's on the same tier as Derwin James. He doesn't, have as many game-changing plays as Derwin James. Maybe he's a little bit better in coverage. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. Minkah Fitzpatrick about 18, and then there's a big drop-off to Kevin Byard at 14. Marcus Williams at 14. I guess there's other guys that are up there. Jamal Williams at close to 18. Harrison Smith at 16. Justin Simmons at 15. And I think, Justin Simmons is a good comparison because he has consistently produced many interceptions every single year, and I guess he did get a contract extension. I think that Cameron Curl, there's no way he's getting $19 million a year or even $18 million a year. I didn't have his stats pulled up, but I'm going to go ahead and pull up his stats right here just so we can look over it. And the stats obviously don't tell the full story, but if you want to get paid at a really high level, at a safety position, you have to at least have some interceptions. And over the last 2 years, he has had, 0 interceptions. He had 3 interceptions in his rookie year and 0 in 2021, 0 in 2022. Does that mean he didn't play well? No. He had a great year in 2022. Really helped out the Commanders a ton. But to get paid like these top guys are, you have to get a lot of interceptions. And a lot of these top guys are more free safeties than strong safeties, and Cam Curl can play free safety. He does have that versatility, but he is more of a strong safety. In my opinion, I would say a fair deal for him would be in that 11 to 13 mil range. And I think you go ahead and do that this offseason so that, hey, if he does go out and ball out this year, play as good as he was last year, just add in a couple interceptions, I think that'll increase his market value a lot. And yeah, I just think that you got to try to get an extension done with him now before you do later. And he's just very important to this team. Very important to the Commanders. Probably more important to us instead of another team that would sign him. He would still definitely get signed by another team, but I think he would be more important in this role than he would be in another. And you see some of the other safeties that have gotten paid. Jalen Thompson about $12 million a year, Quandre Diggs about 13, and he consistently got interceptions. So Cam Curl isn't necessarily a guy that gets interceptions, but he's very good in coverage, a very good tackler, and can get to the quarterback occasionally. So something like the Justin Reed deal, about $10.5 million, I could see that. I could see anywhere from 10 to 13 million, maybe even 14 mil per year this offseason, something like that. If he goes out, has a big year, let's say he plays as good as he did, or as well as he did last year, but plays the whole 17 games, and so let's say he gets over 100 tackles, a sack, maybe a forced fumble, and 2 or 3 interceptions, I could see him getting 15 mil a year, maybe even a little bit more, just because not only did his production increase, he also stayed healthy, and the cap goes up every year. So that's why you try to get a deal done with Cam Curl earlier than you think. And like if they would have done that with Deron Payne, they could have gotten him for much cheaper last year. But who knows? Maybe Deron Payne was smart and he was like, I'm not signing a deal. Like, I'm not coming off my best season. Let me go out, ball out, and then get paid. And that's exactly what he did. So that could be the same thing with Cameron Curl. He is not a free agent right now. So if we do not get an extension done with him, he will be on the roster. He will be on the roster for next year. And then if they aren't able to get one next offseason, then maybe they can franchise tag him or whatever. That's very, very far away. I think right now they need to focus on getting an extension done with him right now before you worry about free agency next offseason. So I think, again, 11 mil is probably a very good spot for him. And for a guy that was a 7th round pick, you know, a 4-year, $44 million deal, or a 5-year, $60 million deal, something like that. Like, that's huge for, you know, for him. That's a lot of money, and I think it would work out for them. I'm trying to see, and here's just, you know, to show how important Cam Curl is to this defense. So the Commanders allowed about 18 points a game with Cam Curl on defense, 25 without him in 5 games. So it's not a huge sample size, but it's enough to show his importance. You know, yards allowed per game, 293 to 333 or 332. Yards per play, about 5 to 5.67. Rushing yards per game went up by 30. Passing yards went up by about 10. Let's see, or no, not about 10, about 8. Net yards, passing yards per attempt. Let's see, that went up a little bit. Third down percentage. You know, a lot of these stats got worse with Cameron Curl off the field. It just did. It really did. The explosive plays went up per game, 5.6 versus 5.3, and the big plays over 20 went up, you know, substantially from 3 to about 4.4 per game. So Cam Curl, crucial part to this defense. And if I'm his agent, I'm just showing him this tweet. I'm showing him this tweet and being like, okay, you see how important he was when we, or you see how important he was to the defense. When he played, the defense was elite. When he didn't, the defense was average to mediocre. And I would show that to him. And that shows, you know, our safety depth isn't great. But I still think that Cam Curl is very important. We'll see if Percy Butler can step up a little bit. But you saw, like, Derek Forrest played so much better when Cameron Curl was with him on the field. So that is just another element to this story. So do I think he's going to get $20 million a year? Zero, absolutely zero chance. He's not in the same tier as Derwin James, Minkah Fitzpatrick. In my opinion, he's not, you know, those guys are better. And you could argue, I mean, again, it's kind of different positions because some of these guys play free safety, but Justin Simmons has outproduced him. But, like, I wouldn't mind a Buda Baker type deal. Still might be a lot, but someone like Quandre Diggs, Jalen Thompson, John Johnson, Justin Reed, like that type of deal. Or you can wait till next year. I wouldn't do this, but you can wait till next year and extend them. It'll probably be a little bit more, and it'll probably be similar to like Eddie Jackson or Quandre Diggs is what I think it will happen, unless he absolutely goes off, and then it could be like a Justin Simmons deal. But like 15 mil is really the absolute max I see this going, and I don't think he could get that this offseason. I really don't, but I could see him getting up to like 13 mil. I really could, maybe even 14. He's a very, very good player, and you know, he seems like a good guy in the locker room. A lot of guys like him, and it was a good draft pick. You draft him in the 7th round, might as well try to extend him, and you know, very important part to this defense. And yeah, keep that safety position locked down for a long time. You know, some people don't like Derek Forrest, but I think Derek Forrest is a good young player, and you have Percy Butler there in the mix as well. So that's it for today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new, and go ahead and check out Manscaped. Use code PEDR20 for 20% your purchase and free shipping. Peace, guys.